This conference will now be recorded.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, as we come before you tonight, we pray for Kim Miller's family and her husband Jeff heals up from his accident. And we're very, very thankful that the boys and her daughter were not seriously injured. Be with Jeff as he goes through some trying times after his hip surgery. We pray that he heals back to normal and get back to Boonesboro. Oh Lord, we pray for everyone. We know there's people suffering. Touch them, heal them, and let them know that you're on their side. Lord, as we go into this meeting tonight, please guide us in a godly manner that we make the right decisions, not only for the town of Boonesboro, but also for the townspeople. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. For those that haven't heard, Kim was on vacation, and her daughter and the two boys and all went with them. They were up in Ohio. And Jeff, two boys, and her daughter had an ATV accident. Something was picking up, overcompensated on swerving and this and hit a tree. Jeff broke his hip. He's had hip surgery. One boy hit his head, but he's fine. And so is the other young little boy, and so is Lauren, her daughter. They're doing fine. So that's why you haven't seen Kim for over a week, and probably be next week sometime before she gets back to work. So keep them in your prayers. And they hopefully will be back soon. The first thing on the agenda is a public hearing concerning the proposed business of bonds by the Boonesboro Ambulance and Rescue Service. This is a public hearing with respect to the issuance of the Boonesboro Ambulance and Rescue Service Incorporated of its tax exempt note in one or more series in an aggregated principal amount not to exceed $4,500,000. The note, an ordinance in order to finance and refinance the construction, acquisition, and equipping of an expansion to the existing station of Boonesboro Ambulance and Rescue Service Incorporated, which will be located at 7619 Old National Pike, Boonesboro, Maryland. The town of Boonesboro is not obligated to pay principal or interest on the note. The notice of public hearing was posted in the Hagerstown Herald Mail July 1st, 2026. The public hearing for this matter is now open. Is there anyone in the audience who wish to be heard upon the proposed issuance of the note of the Boonesboro Ambulance and Rescue Corporation? Anybody like to say anything? Mary Jane, anybody from the ambulance company? Any members of the council?
Did they solidify Eric's recommendation about encumbers? Yeah.
So they changed it in what will be presented later in the agenda for you guys to pass it. It'll need to be passed as amended. So per our attorney, encumber doesn't really work here because in at least legal terms, to encumber something would be to put a lien or security interest on it. So it's not really the appropriate word here. So the two attorneys went back and forth and changed commits to obligates.
Okay.
And then they went on to specify more about it. But
So nothing else changed?
Nope.
Okay.
Anyone else? Hearing none, this public hearing for this matter is now closed. We'll go into our regular minutes of meeting, review and approval of meeting minutes, draft minutes, regular meeting, June 8th, 2026. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? Anybody have any corrections, additions? Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept the regular meetings on June 8th, 2026?
I will make a motion to accept the regular meeting minutes for the June 8th, 2026.
I'll second.
We have a motion, a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. Everyone say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Abstain. Motion carries. By the way, we're missing two council members tonight. Ray Hanson and Ricky Weaver, both are out of town on vacation, so don't you two be bashful now. Speak up. Okay, workshop. Has everybody had a chance to review the workshop minutes? Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept the workshop meetings minutes from June 22nd, 2026.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion, a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Abstain. Motion carries. Swearing in ceremony on July 6, 2026 minutes. Everybody have a chance to review them? Do I have if there's no corrections or additions, do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept the swearing in ceremony on July 6th, 2026 minutes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion, a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Abstain. Motion carries. Thank you. Treasurer's report. Okay.
Thank you. The end of June, the general fund had an ending balance of $1,023,986.96. We did collect in real estate tax payments $16,886.54. We also received in highway user fees revenue $53,616.40. We also received in local share tax revenues $139,230.45. We paid out to Aero Colors, I'm thinking of the whole company. We paid out to Aero Consulting $254 for MS4 services. We also paid out to Aero Consulting $7,189 on-call services. Aero Consulting $17,482.75 for comprehensive plan update services. And we paid to CPJ Associates $1,500.80 for Chase 6 Campus Avenue Engineering Services. We also paid CBM Consulting $8,770 for campus realignment services, and we earned interest for the month of $2,786.65. The restricted fund account had an ending balance of $328,168.10. There was no action in that account other than interest earned for the month of $816.20. The First United Bank account that we have our reserve funds held in had an ending balance of $4,825,306.68. And we did move $500,000 into the reserve account from the general fund. And we also earned interest for the month, $14,140.95. The only CD that we have is at Middletown Valley Bank, and it's the Schaefer Park CD. It has a value of $59,732.33, and it had interest of $161.91 earned for that month. The water fund, excuse me, the water fund had an ending balance of $178,636.42. We received $28,810.03 for water, sewer, sanitation collections. Of that, water collections was $11,723.61. Sewer collections was $14,454.36. And sanitation collections was $2,632.06. We did pay HRI for the rescue bypass services, $855,607.79 for pay after one. And we earned interest for the month of $1,544.87. The water fund user restricted account had an ending balance of $902,825.56. We received from Richmond Homes for water tap fee and $200. And we transferred to the water fund. Let's see if I can read this right. We transferred $855,607.79 to the water fund to pay the HRI payout one, the rescue services, which I just talked about a moment ago. We also earned interest on $2,837.11 for the month. The American Rescue Plan restricted account had an ending balance of $517,096.30. We paid Arrow Consulting $41,789.62 for services at the Reservoir Project, and we paid HRI $39,328.50 for payout 14 for ongoing work at the reservoir. We also earned interest for the month of $1,463.57. The sewer fund had an ending balance of $260,500.01. We paid $17,048.35 to Hills Industrial to replace a wastewater treatment plant influent pump. And we earned interest for the month of $779.32. The sewer fund user restricted account had an ending balance of $490,715.98. And we received $62,000 in sewer tap fees for Richmond American Homes. And we also earned interest for the month of $1,171.58. That is everything that we have up to date.
Thank you, sir. Anybody have any questions or comments? Hearing none, moving on to guests. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented.
Do we have a second? A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Abstained, motion carries. Thank you, sir. We have guests tonight. Gil, Oktoberfest, the floor is yours, ma'am.
Excuse me?
The floor is yours.
Oh, thank you.
You come up, have a seat.
Hi, my name is Jill Colbert. I am the chairwoman for the Oktoberfest Foundation. I have been chairing the event since 2010. We are entering our 29th anniversary this year. If we're not for COVID, we'd be in the 30s. 5 years ago this year, I made the big decision to move the festival out of Hagerstown and to the Agricultural Center. A lot of reasons that were in that decision. We were growing out of space. The tent at the time was costing us, just the tent alone was $38,000. So our ability to be able to provide foundational funds was dwindling. I did not know if we were going to survive because we did get a lot of feedback on moving that out of Hagerstown. So I'm entering my 5th year in the county, and this year we have another pavilion that when we're out there, I don't know if you guys have been out there yet, we decorate all of the pavilions into different festival houses. And so being that it is our 5th anniversary, we have proven that we're sustaining this continued festival. I have been visiting all of the municipalities, either at council meetings and for one-on-one visits. And we want to dedicate the building to be the Washington County Fest House. So I've been going to all of the towns and asking if they would be willing to donate 2 of their town flags so that we can decorate that building. And then we will be also dedicating it on the festival weekend. So we're planning on sending out an email to all the mayor and the town managers so that we can have everybody out there and we can do the dedication, and that we are no longer a Hagerstown event, we are a Washington County event. We branded our shirts this year that say Oktoberfest, Washington County, Maryland, and now have all multiple different logos on the back of the shirts. So we've been really excited. I've had a great time meeting the different towns. I've not had that opportunity to do that in the past. But in December, I was able to take 3 weeks off of my real job and start meeting as many people as I could. And so I'm continuing. I just have 1 or 2 more towns to be able to meet and talk a little bit about the festival. So I don't know if you've ever been to the festival, but we try to make it as authentic as we can. We make our food from the German restaurant. We bring in the bands that are from Long Island. They are authentic German dancers, German musicians, German rock and roll band. And we have a children's area that is dedicated. It is completely free for all kids. We keep our tickets low to make it family friendly. They're $10, and children 12 and under are free. The whole entire area for children, we have puppet show, magic show, arts and crafts, face painting, games, and everything of that is free because we have sponsors that are really gracious to do that for us. We are a foundation, and our primary role has always been to partner with the Hagerstown Basil Sister City, and we provided scholarship funds to help offset the costs for the kids to go back and forth from Basel to the United States, and for the children here to go over to Basel, Germany. When we moved it out to the area at the Ag Center, I was actually able to make a lot more money. So we have been doing additional foundational grants to other nonprofits that we are either children-based or arts-based. We have been able to provide over $20,000 to other nonprofits such as Sleep in Heavenly Peace, Boys and Girls Club, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Star Community, Children in Need, and there's several other ones. So we continue to try to raise as much as we can so that we can continue to provide those foundational funds. We try to make sure that, we improve the festival year over year. This year, we've added a couple more additions to the festival. We've made a larger free gaming area, so if people don't want to see the dancers, they have some games that they can do with their family or their children or adults. And we know that this area is rather large, and not everybody has the ability to be walking all over the place. So we have what we call the Bavarian Loop shuttles. So we'll have 2 shuttles, or we'll have stops that you can wave a flag, and people will pick you up in golf carts and take you from building to building to building, so that helps even with little children as well, because we know that's a large area. So I'm just asking if the town is willing to donate 2 flags to our building, and that's one of the reasons that my main reason is coming.
No, I thought that I indicated that, I'm sorry, that's the main reason you came, we don't have spare copies of our flag, we have just our flag.
Just one?
If you contact the museum, I believe they sell them, I think they're $50.
Yes. Yeah, we have a lot of flags at Boonesboro Museum.
Okay.
If you want to, just click on our Facebook page, send a message.
Are they a nonprofit?
Yes.
Yes.
So can we like donate $100 for the nonprofit that you could use to get to the museum to buy the flags? That'd be, I mean, does that work? Because
How
we
much are the
allow
flags?
$100 each.
So the suggested donation is $50.
Okay. All right,
So-
yeah, I think that would go.
I mean,
That
that
work
work
would be-
all right? That we
Yeah.
can,
Sure. We got a motion.
yeah, do we need to donate it direct to the historical society to do the flags for them, or do we donate it? That's my next question is how do we, whatever's easiest
We
for
can
the
give it
book
to the
work part.
historical. Yeah.
But that way we could get the flags, help the historical
Can we
society.
trust you, James, if we give you the $100?
I'll make sure it gets where it's supposed to.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that we donate $100 to the historical society so that they can donate 2 flags to the.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to donate $100 to the Historical Society to get 2 flags for Oktoberfest. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Do we have any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion abstained. Motion carries. When do you need it?
August 13th.
Okay.
So,
Before we do take them up to the county office or? how we-
or I can have somebody swing by and
Okay.
grab them. I can have them, if you tell me where to get them, I can have one of my board members or myself.
What's good? What's good?
So the museum will be open the 4th Saturday from 1 to 4.
1 to 4?
Or Saturday or Sunday.
Okay,
Fourth
of
weekend.
this month?
Yep.
Okay,
From 1 to 4, just stop in.
okay, that sounds great. I also brought wrap cards, and then if you were interested in wanting to understand, these were our last year's program. So if you want, I can leave them
Yeah, we
wherever.
have a place we can put the record.
Okay, okay, wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Did I see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
All right,
And, thank you.
awesome. Thank you so much. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Bruce, floor is yours, sir.
Thank you for having me. I have some things to display, so I'll just set them up. So again, thank you for having me. My name is Bruce Braun. I live up off of Roxbury Road, miles up the road here. And we've been there for about 35 years. I'm a retired civil engineer, and among the things that I'm doing in my retirement, I've taken up wood crafting. So I have, as you can see, a number of pieces here. Let me tell you a little bit about the pair of American and Boonesboro flags. The walnut from which they're made comes from my property. And I do all the work, of course, on the property. The colors are routed into the wood and then a layer of epoxy on top of it to smooth things out and bring out the gloss. The American flag is a standard ratio of 1.9 to 1. This flag is about 22 inches by 11.5 inches. The logo would be if there would be some question or discussion about that, I can change the logo. The Maryland flag is also a standard dimensions. On here, you can see I have Boonesboro, of course, on the left side. On the right, I have right now a picture of the Washington Monument. It would be, if you would be interested in these flags, what I would intend to do would be to carve the Washington Monument into the flag somewhat a little bit larger than that picture is on there. But that picture, of course, is to give you an idea of what it might look like. So these pieces or these flags, this pair of flags is cut from one board so that if you are observant, the grain matches up and runs through both of them. And they have what's called live edge. The edges on the boards are not finished, or the top and bottom aren't finished, only the sides are finished. They're, of course, unique, and of course, no one else is likely to have something very similar. So what what I am asking for is whether you'd be interested in this set of flags. I talked with Mayor Long at one point, a month ago, I guess it was already. And I thank you for having enough interest to invite me back. So that's one of the things. As I mentioned, I do a lot of other things. I have done this town council, Boonesborough Council emblem or seal. Done that as in a 12-inch size. I've been thinking that I'd like to do another one in about a 16-inch diameter size, so it'd be roughly twice the size of that. Also, you were just talking about the Boonesborough flag. I have a sort of a proposal here of doing something similar to what I've done here on the American and Maryland flags, but do the Boonesborough flag. So I mocked up a 1/2 size version of what that might look like. You just run that past everybody. I've taken the initiative to, your flag, of course, is up there, but correct me if I'm wrong, the flag should have 13 stars around it.
Yeah, the one that's on the wall is incorrect.
Right.
Okay.
So I've done it with 13 stars, but in place of just that single star in the center, I've put the Boonesborough town seal. Again, this is an idea that I had, and I'm very willing to work with the council or members of the council about designing something or focusing in on something that you'd like. I've also done these Washington County 250th anniversary plaques. Another idea that I had would be to take one of these plaques and do it in about twice the size. This is 10 by 5. I was thinking 20 by 10 as a size. Again, that's something I throw out there as a range of possibilities. Do you have questions about what I'm talking about, or?
Anybody have any questions?
I don't have questions. I mean, if we were interested, I would say yes. I would be asking about it, but doesn't this kind of like run along the lines of something that you might want to do at Boonesborough Days?
Well, one of the problems with doing things
At that
Boonesborough
scale,
Days
yeah.
is sort of having enough inventory.
Yes.
I don't work in such a scale that I sort of have a lot of inventory to stock a booth. But I have given thought to that, yes.
Well, if individually we need, maybe one, do we have a card or anything?
Would you have what?
If we would want one of your, wooden
Flags.
flags, there you go. So you have cards that hand out?
You have business cards?
No, that I don't have, although I can certainly provide my information and distribute it. Other questions or comments? Okay, again, thank you very much for your attention and your time.
You do good work.
Thank you.
We get your number one. Bruce, what's your phone number?
Can you get
Get your phone number.
240-217-4299?
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's no public comments. No, that's what I just was being right. Yes.
Anything for anybody?
Oh, Sherry.
There's no one signed up on this sheet for public comments. Anybody forgets to sign.
Anybody have any public comments? Forgot to sign up. Okay. You don't have anything to say?
Tell hey.
Okay. We'll move on to facility reports. Greg?
Okay, I'll start with the water distribution side. We've been crazy busy. We've had 2 water leaks in the last 30 days. We lost like 200,000 gallons on the first one, which is out towards Crestview, and about 1.2 million. And that's me underestimated a little bit. You just do the math, and the hole was about the size of a nickel in this thing, and it ran for over 30 days, and nobody knew it. It was running down the ditch and running that straight down into a creek, and then when I pulled up, the guys on said, "Yeah, it's been like that for like 30 days." I'm like,
Why don't you call?
"Yeah." Then we said it worked to us. We got everything fixed, everything's back together, and they said they could tell a huge difference immediately on how hard they had to run the pumps.
You just know it was at least 30 days.
Yeah, it could have been more than that. We could have lost more. That's what I'm saying. 1.2 is a low estimate. At 130 PSI is what gets you so much. It's just a lot of PSI in that line. And we currently have the water leak detection company in town right now, checking out the whole town. They're finding small stuff. You guys see them around. They got yellow vest on. They're called fluids conservation. They're guys that's been in town for 30 plus years, longer than I've been here. And they're just finding little stuff. I thought we'd do it in conjunction with starting this new reservoir up and see exactly where all this loss is coming from.
Now, are you all taking care of the small leaks?
Yeah, we're fixing them. Most of the time it's just fire hydrant seats and stuff.
Well, when we turn the new reservoir on, will that affect those small leaks and make them bigger?
Yeah. No, they'll be fixed by the time that new reservoir goes on. All because like I said, Howard, it's just the seats down. Look at my guys can do it in an hour. They can fix a hydrant by an hour. It's amazing.
So is the new reservoir the same 130 PSI?
No, that's just out here. That's why we're putting the bypass in. I don't know if you heard about the bypass going around Crestview. We're putting that in because of the pressure from coming from Keithsville to Boothsburg. When they kick the pumps on over there, that's what it builds up to get to that reservoir.
Yeah.
Most of the town average is around 60 to 80. It's just that transmission main and it's that high. I got 2 guys that are exercising valves right now. They're almost completed. Moving on to the sewer collection side, we're using the heck out of that new pipe runner machine. The guys are flying on this thing. I mean, they're getting caught up. They got 1 development left to do, which is Crestview, and they'll be in town working, doing the sewer lines. Drew actually put a pretty cool app in our new ArcGIS, so the people down the road from us are not stuck like we are. The guys are going to highlight the sewer lines that they've already completed. They go to write comments like if there's roots in there or if it needs repaired, what needs done. It's a pretty nice feature to have for the town. It'll set these guys up next generation for us really well.
It also helps when we got all the rain.
Yeah, yep. It's unbelievable. And then the public works side, everything's running good. If you guys haven't been down to the park, see how fast that thing got bounced back from the Greensburg Carnival. It was crazy. They did an excellent job getting it back. And I've been spending so much time down doing the project management job for that Potomac Street. It's unbelievable. The stuff, I mean, the time you guys know how long I've been here, we're finding stuff almost every day that I didn't even notice in the ground. So it'd be good to get all that old junk out there and get this new line ran. We got lines going everywhere. We have not a clue. Nobody even knew it was in there. They're not even on the maps. Reverse valves that don't even belong in Washington County. Reverse valves are on Frederick side. They're not even for Washington County. It's unbelievable. Just very busy.
Wife make out okay today?
Yep. Just complaining of heartburn. She's okay.
Good. Anybody have any questions for Greg?
Thank you and your crew for all your hard work.
Thank you very much. Pete, welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back. Been busy since I've been back. Catching up on a lot of things that
water leaks and stuff in the plants. Pump's not working and stuff like that. We got it all pretty much back to normal now. We did finally get our pump back for the sewer plant for the intermediate pump, but he was talking about in the report there. We should be installing that sometime next week. Hoping to have that all back in. Other than that, so far right now, everything's looking good. Everything's running pretty straight. No big problems before. These are a bunch of little small things happening. Thank you, sir. Anybody have any questions of Pete? Town manager, Rachel?
To add on to Pete's department, our new operator starts on Wednesday. And to add on to Greg's, there was a tree, a very large old tree in the park that dropped another limb, that Mike told me about today. So we have Baker Tree Services coming on Friday to cut it down. Just to make sure that, it's roped off right now, just so that nobody gets too close to it, and in case you're wondering what's happening with the trees. It needs to be cut down, so. We have an RFP posted for paving services, just for the couple paving jobs that we're doing this year. Those will be due July 30th. For the state funds that we got for the Crestview Bypass project, I submitted our first and only reimbursement request for $125,000. So once the state finishes wrapping up their fiscal year, we get that. We did finally receive the $1 million in grant funding from the EPA. It is officially in our bank account, so I expect a pause on that one. And I'm going to be submitting an application for grant funding to purchase inclusive playground equipment. Jesse's wife is an occupational therapist, and she was helping me put together some pieces that we need for that, because we've had several residents and visitors to the park ask for us to increase accessibility. So that's our next step.
Thank you, ma'am. Anybody have any questions for Rachel? Hearing none. Drew?
Okay, a little bit about the reservoir and the Crestview bypass. One of the things that Greg and Pete did not mention is that we're actually starting to do some of the startups up at the reservoir. I think you had the diffusers and stuff, they had the startup on there. We've got another startup this week, so we're slowly putting in and activating all the stuff up at the reservoir, because once they put in the final PRV vault and set it, we have our bypass, that's when we can fill the reservoir. We'll be able to run the final test and make sure we can fill it to the way that we need it filled. And then once we do that and convert the tanks over, which is a big conversation Pete and I are having with this operator to make sure everything's ready. One of the provisions that we put in place is that when we convert over to the new reservoir, we will keep the old reservoir online for at least a week. In case something happens, in case there's something that nobody anticipated, we want to make sure that we always have that fire protection available. Now, after about a week, Pete said that's about as long as we can hold before that chlorine level starts to drop. So we're going through pieces to make sure that we're ready. And I'm working with Greg on the side of making sure we can isolate the tanks in the different areas, etc. So that's ongoing as we speak. They're putting in the last vault today that we're digging, with the lines in. That's down on the other end, down toward closer to the Red River. You'll see it there on the side of the road. They put the other one on King Road, that's it. The line has run the entire distance. The line's been tested, Greg, right? Yes. Pass both back T and pressure. So we're good. So once we get those online, then we can really start the rest of that project and get it ramped up and finished up. Because you remember, the end of the project is they fill in the old reservoir, they level all the ground up there. So there's still a lot of earthwork left to be done, but not any utility work. The other big one is Chase 6, which we all are well aware of. Chase 6, as you all know, we wanted to start that project when the school got out so that we could get the construction done while the kids were not there. We ran into a problem when the Washington County Soil Conservation believed that the stormwater management on the plans, the pond, was a dam safety concern. Which kicked it up to MDE for review. 8 months that takes. That was in September. We filed all the paperwork, had to do a bunch of studies, a bunch of tests, had to survey the properties. You all remember all this. We went to MDE and specifically asked, was there anything they could do to help speed up the process? They decided they would give what's called an incremental waiver. instead of waiting for all the calculations to be done, they had enough to approve a certain amount of the project. And they were gonna do that so we could get the grading permit, we could get started. Soil Conservation, Washington County Soil Conservation said they agreed to that. And when they got the incremental approval, they changed their mind, they said, no, we want all approvals. So as of Thursday last week, design engineers submitted everything to MDE for full approvals. We already have the phase 1. Hopefully we should have the phase 2 this week. And then Soil Conservation is satisfied with MDE approving the whole thing, and then we get a quick.
Are the contractors ready? You know what I mean? Because I know we've changed their schedule.
They are.
And we've.
They are. I talk to them every Monday or Tuesday. I call them and tell them what the stats. But we ran into a hard roadblock.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it was beat, I went back through the records and Rachel and I reviewed all this stuff. They had been okay with all the partial approvals. They told us that all of the sediment erosion control, and the whole project was fine, except for the pond. And then they kicked it up to MDE to review the pond. So why wouldn't they sign off on the rest of the plan? They won't. The interesting thing about soil conservation, they don't answer to anybody. They don't answer to any elected official. Well, you're in the People's Republic of Maryland. So, I mean, it is one of the most highly regulated states there is in the country. Everybody's got a shot at the piece. And the person that's doing it, and we asked the question specifically of soil conservation. Please tell us, what environmental concerns are you worried about that we can address? Answer came back. I met with my board of directors. We're following our procedures. No, we understand about the kids. No, there's a floodplain down there with some environmental sensitive plant that we don't know. No. Procedure, we need full approval.
How about McDonald's is the other question we hear all the time. When's McDonald's starting? Do we have any?
They have all the approvals from the town. They have a site plan approval. They asked and received the zoning certificate. I don't know off the top of my head, did they pay their tap fees? I think they did.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I haven't seen it.
You'll know they're moving when they pay their tap fees. I have run into 3 contractors out there, so they're bidding it.
Okay.
I just don't know where that is with Draper and McDonald's, et cetera. But I do know, I'm sorry, that's Tractor Supply. They're
I
asking
was
for
gonna
that.
say, any update on Tractor Supplies and then.
Tractor Supply, they're moving forward. Actually, we just got an email today. They want to flow test the hydrant flow test. Very typical. The engineers are designing the facility. They got to understand what pressures are there because they have to have a sprinkler system, et cetera, those type of things. So they'll either take the numbers that Greg has, that he records off the hydrants every year when he does the flushing, or sometimes they want a live request. They actually want to have somebody out there that measures the gauge and makes sure it is. So we're moving forward.
And we're doing pilots, that's what I'm saying.
Last I heard, it will be the end of July, early August. I will tell you that Wassler's back, which means they're getting ready to pay. So that means they're pretty much done with everything outside. Now it's just going to be a question of the store inside. Last time I talked to the project manager, he has schedules, of all the different equipment that comes in and has to be started up and everything. He said that's really the biggest delay. They're probably going to have it paid by the end of this week or next week, and it'll look like it's done, but until they get the inside, all the refrigerators, freezers working, soda machines, you know the drill, you gotta get all that stuff up and running. They would like to do a ribbon cutting, but they asked if they can kind of do a soft start first and kind of get their feet under their selves. They don't want to have a big opening day and be messing up everybody's orders and everything. But they're moving along pretty quick. There's a lot more activity than you've seen out there. What you're gonna see now is you see the outside all finished, and then there's gonna be inside. Not gonna be why are they open? Why are they open? Because they're putting everything on the inside.
Well, thank you, sir. Anybody have any questions of Drew? Hearing none. Police Department, Chief.
Amy sent out the monthly stat report for June, so everybody got that this month. The Flox camera system is due in September. I talked about it last month. Our contract with Flox cameras was $24,500. Our new body cameras and taser contract through Exxon was going to be about $11,500, making our total expenditure about $36,000. Axon has come out with LPRs Axon has agreed to replace all 7 LPRs, body cameras, and tasers for $27,500 for 3 years. And then the last 2 years of the contract, it'll kick up to about $33,500. But after 5 years, we own that equipment. So Phlox is a perpetual agreement, so it yearly reviews. So for an extra $3,000 for the next 3 years, you basically get your tasers, body cameras for what was gonna cost us $11,500. So we're gonna enter into agreement with Axon to replace our LPRs and get our new tasers and body cams for about an additional $3,000 instead of $11,500 that we were looking at. So just keeping you guys posted on that. We'll probably do that sometime this week, but the Phlox will not come down and Axon will not go up until probably September when Axon comes down, or when Phlox comes down, and then Axon's gonna have to apply for all those permits. So we're gonna have a little downtime, but that's just our LPRs, not our main camera system. So that's about all I have for that. We are, and I know this is early, this is a year in advance, but I just want to give everybody an advance notice. We're going to explore the cops grant, right?
Cops hiring grant.
Which the 75% of salaries. We're the second largest municipality in Washington County, 3,900, and it's increasing. Our business is increasing, and you guys see the call volume is up 233 calls just 6 months into this year. So it would be nice to have 2 additional officers in 2028. And the cops grants would pay, that would pay 75% of the cops' salaries for 3 years. So we have to work through some of the bugs of it as to whether we can hire established people or whether they have to be new hires. So Amy's in the process of asking all the questions. And again, we're not looking to do this till 2028. Obviously, it'll take your permission and approval, but just throwing it out there for, the increase. I mean, everybody we have looks like they're staying on. So that's a good thing. That's, longevity and what we have here is a really good thing with the experience that we have. And again, I just think that, Jim at one point was 7 reports being a West Market alone with thefts. It's probably 2 to 3 a week.
Easily, yeah.
They're literally just taking grocery carts full of groceries and walking out the door. They're on camera, so Jim does the investment. I can't tell you how many arrest warrants he's.
Well, I just logged in 3 summonses
Yeah.
today, and he's got 2 more pending.
Yeah.
So
We have 5 criminal summons coming in just the month of probably May and June.
not even May,
Yeah,
not in a month, just the last couple days.
Weeks. Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know what's up, but with highs coming online, that's going to be another one. And, I know McDonald's, I don't think that rate at McDonald's is going to be very high, but it'll probably add to the call volume even more. At almost 4,000 residents now, the possibility of, probably 10 years from now, long past our stays here, but you're probably looking at double or tripling the population of Boonesboro, so, you guys have a very good police department, and I'm not blowing, I'm talking the guys that are, under me. It would be very nice to build that up, while we have that experience here with Robbie, Jim, and James, and, so again, just something, it's a year out, but just something to put in your minds and to think about.
So if you do this COPS program, you said it's a 3-year program.
Yes.
What happens at the end of 3 years? We're 100%
Yes, the town would be 100%
down.
down.
Can you reapply?
Not for those same, so you can't have a vacant position and apply for these. So you have to be expanding your police department in order to qualify for this grant. So as it stands right now, we have no vacancies. We don't have the part-time position that we were holding on to there. So again, up to you guys, but just throwing out January, February, we decide we need 2 officers come 2028. We start exploring the possibility of hiring. That would qualify us for the COPS grant.
I think he's hoping that development will be
Yeah.
to the point where we're getting
Yeah.
revenues
More
in
revenues,
that
yeah.
way.
It essentially buys the town 3 years to figure out if you can sustain it or not.
So,
Do you have to have a contract with them at the
start of those 3 years saying that you're gonna keep them on?
The officer, well, I mean, we pretty much do that now, but there's nothing we can really do if somebody decides to leave.
No, I mean, like, if at the end of 3 years, we don't have the funding for it. we-
Jobs just go away, they go away.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I didn't know if the grant made us have,
we could,
Not that I know yet, I'm still digging into details, but not that I know yet.
our understanding as it stands right now is we can literally tell the 3 officers or the 2 officers that the grant has dried up and they can start, employment elsewhere. So, but that's, again, I just wanted to put it out there. I know it's a long ways, it's a year off, but
It's not that long.
it's just to think about. Yeah, no, it flies. Yeah.
Dave, I did talk to Legit about cameras.
Mhm.
When Kim gets back, we'll have to check the insurance policy, see whether they're under that. If they're not under our insurance, they do have a program that you can insure your cameras.
Okay, we actually got that reimbursed. That gentleman paid the bill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just in case something down the road that does happen.
It wouldn't be a bad idea to look into that, Mayor, because the
Yeah, but-
the system that we've got up now is pricey.
You'll have to check, see where their cameras are.
Oh, you mean the one on Main Street, Mayor, the LPR that got hit? Or
The
both?
one that got, well, all of
Yeah, well, the LPR was reimbursed.
And then we had one hit here at the square line.
A Cove tractor and trailer hit the one at the square. No, we've got all their insurance. Yeah,
them code drivers are terrible.
can't trust them.
Mayor, just.
They've already.
Those are all covered by the other person that we're.
Yeah.
Good.
But on Flock's cameras, we read today that, was it locally, Amy? Another,
I've
They were-
seen a couple reports locally, just on social media and different stuffs, that people are targeting Flox cameras and knocking them down, purposely knocking them down. Yeah.
so it's about the way they save their information. So, yesterday, LAPD, Los Angeles, which was the largest carrier of Flock's, dropped the Flock's contract. So, Axon, which does Taser, bought Taser International, so they do Tasers and BWCs now. They're kind of stepping in, and instead of them saving to a cloud, their emphasis is on the agency saving their own information and not being out there where it can possibly be gotten by hackers or something. So all we have to do is be able to save our information for 14 days, because that's all Maryland requires. We have to do our reports based on the MCAC based on a year.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can calculate all that stuff without saving or needing a big server or using some type of an AI or cloud situation to store this information where it can possibly be hacked. So,
I don't think your cameras are in our policy, but I'll have
That's
Kim
legit.
double check.
Okay. I'll ask him when she gets back.
Do you want us to pursue Legit and see what it would cost us to get them? Or are you?
I mean, so our cameras themselves through Spikers, it's about $1,200 a camera. So, I mean, the nice thing is that the cameras are catching it if something happens to them. So, I mean, really, it's gonna go back on the, I mean, if it would be cost efficient, maybe, but if it would be cost prohibitive, I don't see a
He
reason.
said it's sold.
Okay,
Larry didn't know the
Yeah.
exact price, but he said, I can tell you it's probably gonna be sold.
I mean,
But,
I don't see the need of $1,200 a camera. I mean, I really, I certainly wouldn't want to be paying that a year, even to boost it, I mean, again, because we're probably 90 to 95% of the time, we're gonna have the person and the evidence to support it. And like code conforming, they're like, just submit them.
They better.
But yeah, so, I mean, that's kind of where we are with that, so, but.
Only other comment, I don't know where you sent the reports, I haven't seen them, so.
I came through the email.
Mary Lee, anything, Dave?
No, that's what I was thinking,
Okay.
I just checked
No?
Mine came through.
email and
Okay.
if, I don't know.
All right.
Okay. I sent it to
I
you.
had your G.
I got it.
Yeah.
Kim usually does, yeah.
Oh,
Normally does that.
Okay.
oh,
All right.
sorry about
That's what happened.
You'll get it tomorrow.
that. But I got.
Okay, I was gonna say, man, I missed
You'll get it
that.
tomorrow.
My fault.
No worries.
Anybody else have anything in the chief? Okay, moving on to mayor and council updates and correspondence. Anybody have anything to come before the council tonight?
Oh my goodness, seriously? Sure. I got a couple things for you. I could have probably said this with the treasurer's report, but all the paperwork at Middletown Valley Bank is ready for signatures now. So just get down there anytime and just see Kate. That would be.
Ricky.
No, Ricky, he's out of town. I already told Caitlin he's out of town. So it's just you, me, and Ricky, and I think Gary's got to sign off. So I'll double check on you.
Yeah, I would think I wouldn't have to.
I wouldn't think you would either.
I'll double check.
I didn't have to sign.
Okay.
But I'll go out tomorrow.
Okay. And then I'm still waiting on Kayla.
Yeah.
She's the branch manager.
Oh,
And then I'm still waiting to hear back from First United, so it'll be the same drill once I get that. I did attend that annual ham radio field day on June 27th at the Boonesboro Washington Monument, and that's right, first Washington Monument, James.
very first.
The very first, that's right. It's an annual event that lasts for 24 consecutive hours, and it was from 3 o'clock on Saturday to 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. They emphasize on emergency preparedness during a national emergency. It becomes very important when we lose power and cell service, so these ham operators, they step in. They use solar and generators. It's very, very interesting to be up there with those guys. They had I want to say maybe 20 volunteer ham radio operators, and they do all types of communication. The old technology, what do you call it?
Morse code.
Yeah, thank you, Morse code and all that. So anyway, but it was pretty interesting. Was happy to go up there and do that. We all attended, I and Mary Lee attended the Washington County Commissioners Annual Meeting on June the 30th. I'll be attending the EDC event at Ace Hardware this Thursday night on the 16th. Just to let you know, I was reappointed to the Maryland Municipal League Legislative Committee again for this year. It'll be my third year serving. We had our orientation on the 7th of July, and we have our first committee meeting on the 22nd. The mayor and Eric and myself attended the Boonesboro Keysville Water Advisory Board meeting on July the 8th. Drew did present the new water capacity calculations to the advisory board. The board approved using the new formula to calculate available EDUs. The remainder of the conversation focused mostly on the new agreement and about the wording in the new agreement. So that's still being reviewed. I think that is it.
Anybody have any questions for me? Hearing none, thank you, sir. I do have one small favor to ask the council. I know we don't have a full council tonight, but I like to go through what we do have here with our appointments, because we do have some commissions coming up. And then we'll formally, next month, mayor and council formally do it. Ray has agreed to stay on as the EDC rep again. Ricky's agreed to be on the planning apartment board commission. I've talked to Dave, and he's willing to go on planning. The utilities. Tony is going to agreed to do planning, and Matt has agreed to do environmental commission. And Mary Lee, I asked you again, I know you're busy a lot. Mayor Fodor again, I'd like to have in the past. So as a temporary motion, have that until we have a full council to really do it in August.
If I make that motion, I have to repeat everything you just said.
Just say as presented.
I'll make a motion that we make the temporary appointment as presented by the mayor.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, abstain, motion carries temporary until we have a full council. I don't think we'll have any problem with everybody. This way, all the commissions are covered. Okay. Anybody else have anything under correspondence?
Should I move back to new business for the August meeting?
Yes. Officially. Please. That way we have full council for once to partial. Hearing none, I attended the MML summer conference too. Very educational, a lot of good programs that they have. MML has made a lot of changes in what they're doing, and a lot of the changes are for the better. We get into a rut sometimes, try to just keep things at a steady flow. We do have a couple municipalities that are complaining about the change. Change is always hurts everybody, but give it a chance. That's all we ask them to do. So, MML is still very supportive of all the municipalities in the state of Maryland, and they've been very, very helpful to us. We've had some situations and problems come up for advice and all. They've got us in the right direction. So, the Maryland Municipal League is a good organization. Moving on to new business, passage of resolution to approve the issuance of bonds for the Boonesborough Ambulance and Rescue Service. Does anybody have anything they want to say? If not, we need a motion
It'll be a motion to pass it
as amended.
Changes that we talked about.
Right. Any questions?
So the wording on the resolution is as
The only thing that was changed was now it says be it further resolved that the approval of the issuance of the bonds in no way obligates instead of commits mayor and council to spend any funds on the project or to pay the debt service on the bonds. And then they also added mayor and council motion shall not incur any pecuniary or other liability with respect to the project.
that suit Eric.
No, obligates is a much better word, I think, than commits.
It's a much better one.
Is a much better word than commits. And as you and I talked about encumbered value, so that's obligates. I want to make sure they can't come back on us.
Absolutely.
And
So I'll make a motion to pass a resolution to approve the issuance of bonds by for ambulance and rescue service with the amended text as written.
Do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Abstain. Motion carries. I already signed it. Passed on the reading. Just need Jesse's signature and stamp. Good to go. Okay, commission liaison appointments. Just did, I'd like to have a motion to temporarily do that. Just ahead.
Yes.
Good, so we're ahead of ourselves. Sorry about that. Been a rough day.
It's okay. Do you want to do anything with the appointment of Eric?
Yes,
That in commission reports.
you guys should come under commission.
Okay, I can do it when I do that.
Request to transfer fiscal year 26 allocation funds to restricted accounts for FY 27.
So for Crestview, for the bypass project, we had allocated a $10,000 water fund subsidy in FY 26. We had not tapped into that yet. I would like to have that moved to restricted to make sure that we can use it in FY 27.
And that would be coming out of the water fund.
Yes.
General checking balance.
Yes. And then the other one is the ARC grant match for inflow and infiltration. That is sewer fund. That one is 250,000, also to be moved to restricted. They have finally finished the review process for the grant application over a year after it was submitted. And I asked when we could expect official notice, and she said if it's made it this far, it's pretty much guaranteed to get it. So I just want to make sure that those funds are available when we need that match. And then after like all the FY 26 trees are rectified and everything, then I do a comprehensive annual report. If it works out that we can, I would like to transfer up to $532,055 that was budgeted in CFP reserves for project contingency expenses. I don't think that we're gonna have that much available. We went over and other things, but once I finish the report, I'll know exactly how much we have. But what we had budgeted was $532,055. So, but I don't know that one yet. So at this time, I'm just asking you for the 10,000 for rescue and 250 for ARC.
Well, we don't have the 250,000 to make out of the sewer fund. We would have to take the money out of the sewer fund user fees, so why wouldn't we just leave it there and spend it from there? Ready for it? I mean, that'd be my first.
I guess I just was thinking that it would be.
Because the restricted funds is mostly general fund restricted funds in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, now if you want to move 10,000 from the water fund checking, again, you want to use it to the user funds, because that's where we've been pulling money for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the sewer fund checking account's only got 260,000 in it,
Yeah.
so even though it could be
Well,
money out of checking,
and
like, we were going to take that out of sewer fund reserves anyhow.
Yes, it would be coming out of sewer fund. But I guess that one doesn't.
So we just lose 2,000. And then you gotta pull that from water fund checking and put it in the user fee account.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to pull 10,000 from the water fund checking, move it to water fund user fees. Yeah, no, not the restricted account. We could see the restricted account.
We kind of consider the user fees as a restricted. account.
Yeah.
That's why it's not
Yeah,
really
because the
necessary.
restricted account's on the general fund balance sheet. So if you move money from another fund, it's gonna be sitting in your fees. It kind of just becomes confusing for people.
The title is the user fees restricted.
Okay, yeah, I was
Well,
just
but I
reading
think
off
on the
water
actual
fund.
bank account, it doesn't have the word
Yeah, I
restricted.
don't think
It's
it
just
has.
internally, I think
Yeah.
it is restricted.
So I was saying, you
I
know,
got you.
move it out of the checking account so it doesn't expend
Put it in
into
the
the
user
water
fee
fund
account.
user fee account for its purpose when we get there.
And I'll second the motion that we move it from water account, water fund account to the water fund user account, $10,000.
Okay, got a motion, a second, to move $10,000. Any questions? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, abstain, motion carries. Introduction of ordinance to regulate the operation of electric bicycles, scooters, and personal mobility devices on public walking paths, footpaths, and pedestrian zones within the town of Boonesborough, Maryland. Chief, you got any comments?
But Rachel said this is gonna have to be put out for public.
Yeah, this is just the introduction.
This is just the introduction of it.
I mean, I've made changes that I've already got like 2 recommendations for changes.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I read it over and I think it's very, very good.
Yeah.
I think it's well needed.
Okay.
So we introduced it tonight and it'll be on the, I guess we'll have a public hearing in August.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Anybody else have anything, come before the council before we go into commission?
What we normally do to introduce it.
Do you have a motion to introduce the ordinance?
I will make a motion to introduce ordinance 2026-02, electric bicycles, scooters, and personal mobility devices to public walking paths, footpaths, and pedestrian zones.
Second.
Schools right off.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Gentlemen, don't be bashful out there. All speak up. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, abstain, motion carries. It'll be on, the hearing on, August, like, that date is second Monday. in August. Again, anything else to come before the council? Hearing now, we'll do commission reports. Does anybody have a report? Thank you.
So along with the ordinance information, the park board, Ricky had looped in the park board on the draft that David circulated, so, they do need, park board does need to have the regulation signs updated, but we will do that after this ordinance is finalized, so we can do the the motorized vehicles in that. For the disc golf, Audrey attended and indicated that there were signs and T-pads damaged during the carnival, and those will be repaired soon, but the participation in the game has been very good. And then, that's pretty much it.
Thank you, ma'am, for filling in. Anybody have any questions of Park Board? Hearing none, utilities?
Okay, the Utilities Commission last met on June the 17th. We did have 4-line Camstrong, the pilot program with our water meters. They were here. BNUC reviewed and approved the quote that was dated from June the 15th to install 2 collectors, and we'll be doing incremental replacement of water meters like we always have in the past, except we're going to be doing Camstrong water meters moving forward. Public Works has been very happy with the water meters for the pilot program, and the meters currently are costing less than the provider we're using now. Under old business, the reservoir update, power was provided to the job site, electric's being installed at the building works. Testing is beginning and going on at the new reservoir. After the testing is complete, the system will get switched over at some point from the old to the new, as Drew had mentioned earlier. The old reservoir is not going anywhere until we're comfortable. Once the transition is ready, the old reservoir will be shut down and decommissioned. Potomac Street bottleneck, Greg highlighted that a little bit earlier in his report. My understanding is that Mid-Atlantic is about halfway through the testing pit, identifying the size and locations of the water lines, and after the testing is complete, the temporary bypass line will be installed, which is going to be up on top of the sidewalk to facilitate the project. Crestview bypass, HRI has approximately 500 feet left to dig on my report, but Drew mentioned earlier that that's already finished, and they're getting ready to, or have already installed the last PRV vault. So that project is moving along. Water sewer capacity study, there's no additional updates at this time. Review and ranking of priority projects for the DMUC. Rachel had brought this to the DMUC at our last meeting, and conversation ended up with maybe some of these items that were on WRA's list come back to us with the projects and the status. We can rank them and decide where we're going to go moving forward. I'm not going to bore you with the systems report because both Pete and Greg were here earlier. They talked about what is going on. I did just want to highlight that hydro flusher. I did have that in my notes. That's a new piece of equipment that we purchased for Public Works, and they have been making the most of that animal, and it's been doing a lot of work and saving the town and the employees a lot of time and money. So we appreciate them, and we appreciate that equipment purchase. Moving from there, we did have Eric Kitchen apply for a position on the BMUC. It was mentioned by the chair of the BMUC that it's not really necessary, I don't think, to have a interview with this individual. Eric has been a past member as well as a treasurer at that time when they had a treasurer on the BMUC. So in talking with the mayor earlier today, I made the suggestion that we just go ahead and make the appointment. So that's where I stand with that, unless somebody had an objection to that. I will make a motion that we appoint Eric Kitchen to the BMUC Utility Commission effective immediately.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Abstained. Motion carries.
Eric, don't be late, July the 15th at 6 o'clock.
Congratulations.
It's right on my calendar, you know that. July the 15th.
You'll be there.
Your new liaison.
I'll be there.
Just switching voices. That's it.
Okay. Anybody have any questions of Tony? Planning Commission,
I got you covered.
got that covered too.
Got you covered. So the planning commission last met on June 23rd. There were no residents I'm sorry, you did have citizen comments, they're down low. Never mind. Tractor Supply, no formal site plan yet. They were still working with State Highway and Stormwater Management. There will be upcoming conversations to extend that public road that now only goes to the back of Dollar General stops. Ace Hardware, owner Pete Anderson was in. He's purchasing an additional 2 3/4 acres beside him and behind Evie's, as well as Russell Morgan. He tentatively is planning to use this area for RVs, boats, and trailer parking. No construction at this time, only parking. The Planning Commission approved the subdivision as requested. The current zoning out there is GC, so it does not change. The next comp plan meeting was scheduled for this past July the 9th at 6 o'clock here at Town Hall. It's the final meeting that's scheduled for the public. There will be additional meetings with the contractors and citizens, namely Dave Bell and Brian Smith, who provided written comments. New commission, Eric was asked who the new commission liaison would be, and Eric informed the commission that they didn't know yet. Now they know. And, you'll be letting Chairman Parmalee know before you leave here tonight, I'm sure.
That's right.
The planning commission bylaws were approved, however, there were some major formatting requests, and as part of that, formatting was requested as part of the approval. Got it. Chase 6, Chairman Parmalee requested an update from Drew pertaining to Chase 6. Drew provided the update as he had given to the mayor and council at their workshop the night before. We heard the latest update here tonight. They did have a citizen, Miss Terry Moffett at 4 Lakin. She signed up to speak. She noted that her property on Lakin backs up to the property on 39 North Main, where the pizza truck is now operating. She was asking about the 10-foot setback requirements, which was answered by Drew and the chair to her satisfaction. No other questions or concerns. Their next meeting is scheduled for July the 28th, and that'll happen right here at 6 o'clock.
Thank you, sir. Anybody have any questions for Barry? Hearing none, moving on to Ray's not here for EDC. You want to give us an update yet?
Thank you.
Well, EDC, we've got Thursday, we've got at 5:30 to 7:30, networking at 8. I'm not sure where the actual expansion stands at this point, so I don't know if that announcement will come at the network. So now that you brought it up, I just want to make sure that if anybody's going to the networking event, I'm not sure exactly where that stands. So I don't know if they want to make that.
What happened in a public meeting, so I didn't, whatever.
What's that?
But he asked for it in a public meeting, so it's out there, so.
Well, yeah, it is out there. I'm just not sure if is everything settled? We don't know that yet. So
Yeah,
I don't even know if that's settled,
Don't
so.
know if the property has been purchased.
Yeah, I don't know if he-
Exactly, that's what.
Yeah, I don't know if he wrote the check, but in the anticipation was.
No, he was waiting on a letter from the town to make sure that, which was, who, the sellers wanted a letter from the town to say, yes, you approved. So I'm assuming he got that letter. You got that letter?
He didn't really ask for the letter.
Yeah, there was no request
No,
for
letter?
that.
Oh, really? You said you requested a letter, a letter was promised tonight in the meeting that would say it wasn't approved. Or he asked if somebody could write a letter and say it was approved. I stopped by in the beginning of last week.
Does any of this register with you?
I stopped in the beginning of last week and left a note at the front desk and said about having just a letter written from the town that says, yes, we did approve Pete's request.
They look at the minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm just,
I'm sorry.
He has a letter.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Okay, oh, if he has a letter, great.
It's already been recorded.
Okay,
There you go.
that's great. I just don't know if the sale went through. So when,
I haven't seen most of Ridgewood.
yeah, so that, I just wanted to be safe.
Yeah.
I didn't want to jump ahead there, so. Main Street's going well, that's all being turned over to BTA now. So BTA will have full control of the Main Street program. And we're looking at hiring a Main Street manager now. We've got next 2 to 3 weeks or so, we'll be getting close to trying to lock that down. So all that's moving from EDC now. Natoma will be taking over the EDC as chair, and we will be bringing on a new member since Terry is leaving. So that member will be probably introduced in the next week or so.
Thank you, sir. Didn't mean to put you on the spot. Ray's not here. He would normally gave us a report.
That's probably more complete than Ray's.
Probably. Probably. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Environmental Commission, Matt.
So the new seal logo was sent for approval. The pharmacy donated a label remover for the prescription bottles. They're still looking for 2 more volunteers for the solid waste reduction effort. The Sustainable Maryland Certified Green Team filed the application for silver status. Waiting to get back. The Monarch Way Station and Garden, they needed 10 bags of mulch. Farmers Market was a success and had over 20 vendors. The Ridge Runners retreat went well. It was good debate. We came to the conclusion there's not enough demand for another station. Sustainable Bensboro website, on the Bensboro website has been updated, and the next meeting is September 9th.
Sir, anybody have any questions on that? Very good. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. This is nice of you. Interest in our meetings, people show up to see what's going on. Does any of you all have anything you'd like to say? Okay, thank you. Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
You say so?
I'll make a motion. So moved, yes.
He already said it.
Oh, look at that. Ready,